Welcome, gaming friends. In today's spotlight, we're going to be taking a look at the Mad King's Labyrinth and if it's worth farming during the Guild Wars 2 Halloween event. We will briefly be going over how to get into Labyrinth and how to find a group, what boosters are the most important while you're running your farm, some of the best practices and etiquette that you can follow in the Labyrinth, how the farm actually is going to work, where most of the profit comes from being in the Labyrinth, and how to maximize that profit. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now let's go ahead and talk about the two different ways that you can get into the Mad King's Labyrinth. The first one is through a door like this, which is located in Lion's Arch, and if you look on your mini-map, you will notice that there is a green arch on this door, and there will be similar doors to this located throughout Tyria. The second way would be through an invitation, which you will get in the mail, and if you've already completed all of the events, you will have an invitation to the party, so you will be able to just click on this and it will teleport you directly into the Mad King's Labyrinth. Now that you've made it into the Labyrinth, you're going to navigate to your social panel and then look for a party in the LFG tab, which will be located under Central Tyria Squads. You're going to want to look for a squad that has at least 15 people in it, but less than 20. That way you can get into a map that is mostly full, and then you are able to also still enter the map. If you're in a squad that has more than 25 in it, you are more than likely going to be running into a map that does not have enough room in it for you to join. The most important stat to boost while you're farming in the Labyrinth is your Magic Find. Magic Find boosters can be available from the Guild Hall, the Celebration booster from birthdays or login rewards, food such as the peppermint Om berry bar or the chocolate Om berry cream, utilities available from the trick-or-treat bags such as the sharpening skulls, item boosters, or the buff also can be obtained through the candy corn gobbler, and then finally banners such as spirit, guild, or magic find banners. Unlike most farming maps in Central Tyria, the Labyrinth does not have mobs that will scale dynamically above level 80. However, they will scale in the number of mobs spawned based upon the number of players that are in the area. With that in mind, here are some common Labyrinth etiquette and suggestions for maximizing your profit on organized maps. The first one is opening doors. Only the commander should be opening doors on organized maps. This will help maximize profit, assuring everybody is there at the door when the door is opened. Next is the central part of the Labyrinth is very important to this farm. It is important that you don't farm the center of the map by yourself. The third one is in regards to builds and some suggestions surrounding that. Builds should not be maximum damage builds. I would suggest swapping in some PTV or power toughness vitality trinkets into your build instead of going full damage. Next, you would be able to do movement speed inside your build, whether it be with some runes or a speed sigil. Next, you're going to have ricocheting or piercing attacks on your character. You will also want to have access to AoE. The two builds that I have found most successful are the Flamethrower Engineer and the Shortbow Thief. I will be leaving links to those builds in the description. Fourth is targeting mobs. When you're targeting mobs, you're going to make sure you want to tag them, which means you're only going to do 1 or 2 attacks on each of those mobs before moving on to the next one to give everybody a chance in the Zerg to hit that mob. Having a high bag or gold per hour rate relies on a few different factors. Assuming that everyone on the map is following the general etiquette, the most optimal flow is a counterclockwise rotation around the map. When you enter the center from the west side, you will complete a full rotation and then re-exit on the west side, continuing your counterclockwise rotation of the outer corridor until you reach the east corridor, and then you will re-enter the center corridor and complete a full rotation and re-exit on the east side, continuing your counterclockwise rotation. While you are following this path, you will open all of the veteran and group spawn doors only. The Lich and Candy Corn Viscount generally slow groups down and decrease their gold per hour. However, I have found in some well-prepared groups with a variety of classes, they're able to maintain a strong gold per hour even with these champions in the rotation. Reflex being the primary counter needed for the Candy Corn Viscount, and Boonstrip and Condy Clear / Resistance being the most important while counterplays for the Lich. Now that you know how the Labyrinth Farm works, let's go ahead and take a look where that profit comes from. While about 80% of my gold per hour was coming from gold dropped directly from the mobs or the selling of trick-or-treat bags, there are another few honorable mentions. I will, however, note that I was getting slightly better and more consistent results from the Flamethrower Engineer. With a little more work, you are able to increase your profit margins just a little bit further. Let's take a look at those top contributors. The number one contributor was the trick-or-treat bags. I was getting between 400 and 500 bags per hour. As of the time that I'm recording this video, they were worth about 4 silver apiece, making an entire stack worth about 10 gold. I was also receiving about 1.5 to 2 gold per hour, depending on the uptime of the banners in the instance, as well as my food. Unidentified gear was another top contributor for gold per hour. Spirit shards are another item that I will mention here. I was getting between 15 and 20 per hour, giving you the ability to make between 30 and 40 item promotions per hour. Tier 5 and Tier 6 bones and venom sacks are also something that you will be able to take an item promote from the Labyrinth. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions on tips that I might have missed in this video in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please consider leaving a like to help out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribing to the channel to help support future content. Hopefully you're all having a great one, and I'll catch you next time.